I'm Aaron Krasnow. I'm Associate Vice President for Health and Counseling Services at Arizona State University.
My name is Cassandra Aska, and I serve as the Assistant Vice President and Dean of Students at Arizona State University on the Tempe campus.
My name is Erin Trujillo, and I'm the Director of ASU's Counseling Services.
A resilient Sun Devil is a ASU student who recognizes a few key things. One, they recognize things about themselves, about their strengths, and about areas that are more challenging for them. They're also someone who recognizes the opportunities that are around them, in terms of support when they're struggling, but also ways to maximize their strengths. And so a resilient Sun Devil is someone who has those awarenesses about themselves and then takes full advantage of the community that they're a part of.
When I think about resiliency, I think about all the different ways that someone is growing to prepare to be all the people that they want to be in the world when they graduate from here.
It's really exciting to see our students come to Arizona State University for the first time. They're embarking on a brand new journey, and what we know is that for some of them, it causes just as much stress as it does anxiety for them to, come into a new environment. They're thinking about who their friends are going to be. They're thinking about how are they going to manage their time, and how are they going to manage their new academic responsibilities.
The first year of college, like any transition, is filled with excitement and it's filled with stressors. Some of those stressors for first-year students are things that we might expect. If they're far away from home, or even if they're going to school very close to where they grew up, they're in a completely different environment. And so those stressors for those first-year students are often just about that difference, about who they're around.
It's important first in thinking about stressors to recognize that change inherently is stress, and it could be fun, exciting stress, or it could be hard stress, but both of those types of stresses hit us similarly physiologically.
One of the most important things that students can do to help manage their stress, whether it's in the first year or ongoing, is some of the simplest advice, but it's the most difficult to do, and that's adopting and maintaining a healthy lifestyle. And so while we could tell everybody you should get 8 hours of sleep, we should tell everybody you should eat plenty of fruits and vegetables and grains, we should tell people to surround themselves with positive people, how do we get them to either adopt that, know that, go from just an intellectual idea like that makes sense to actually doing it? Well, one of the ways we do it is we create conditions in the environment in which those things would more naturally happen.
There's lots of ways that students can manage these changes, the stress, the anxiety that they may feel at times. The first is just simply tuning into themselves. Our bodies are so clear at messaging to us when we are experiencing stress.
I think one of the ways in which we could continue to reinforce to our students how resilient they are is letting them know that there's not ever just one right answer. And no matter what path they choose, more likely it's going to lead to more options and opportunities for them to make more decisions. But ultimately, they're building their confidence through that process.
We think of everybody who joins our community at ASU as part of our ASU family. That's students, that's family. And so the wellness resources that are available for students and families are one and the same. The ASU Counseling Center is there for students who want personal counseling and support. We don't provide that personal counseling to parents, but what we provide through ASU Counseling is consultation about how to maybe help their student. Or people can call us to say that they're concerned about something. So we're serving both groups through the same department, but just in different ways.
When a student or a family calls our office, there's a team of individuals that's ready to have a conversation with them to understand what their questions are, what they're trying to learn, and then to be that resource to connect them to where they need to be connected to. So the best thing that I could tell our students and family is if you don't know where to call or where to go, come to the Dean of Students office. We'll be able to direct you accordingly.
ASU Counseling Services is strategically organized in several ways to help both students and parents through the adjustment to college and stressors. First, we have a walk-in or a phone call availability, so a student can walk in or call in any hour that we're open. And so we work to make sure that students can come and see a counselor same day.
When parents recognize that their student is experiencing a stressor and that stressor is interfering in their college life or is so intense that it's causing significant distress, the first thing parents can do is believe their student that they're going through that. That sounds very straightforward, and for most parents they nod at me when I say that and they go, of course I would believe them. But actually the experience for many students is that when they report to their families that they're experiencing stress or distress, the feedback even from the most loving family is, don't worry about it, it'll pass, you just need to adjust, which for the parent, I think many times comes from a very loving place, but for the student sounds like a dismissal of their very intense feelings. If you do that after you offer the appreciation, if you do that after you believe them, so much more richness can come out of the discussion, and often parents will flip those two. They'll start with problem solving and then thank the student. By then, often the students have tuned out the parents' help because they missed the opportunity to really validate this struggle.
I think it's really important for families who are a little bit separated from their student, right? And they're getting that phone call at 3 a.m. in the morning from their loved one that is sharing an experience with them, good, bad, or indifferent. And in sharing that experience, the family member is probably sitting there, what am I going to do with this? And sometimes what I want to encourage our family members and our loved ones to understand is sometimes your student just needs you to listen. They're not looking for you to solve whatever problem they may be presenting or issue that they may be sharing with you, but they know you and they know that they can trust you. So they're looking for you to just listen to them. And what I've seen often is that when students have that listening ear of that caring adult, they'll talk through what the challenges may be and be able to come up with some of their own thoughts as far as how they might handle it.
Every person who's in college has some level of resilience, if not quite a bit, otherwise they would not be in college. It took a lot to get here. So the first thing we recommend before we start building the skill is to affirm in the other person, in this case a student, what it took to get here and how that is evidence of their strengths and evidence of their resilience. We start from a strengths approach as opposed to what's missing in this person's resilience, what have they brought to the table. This generation of students is incredibly resilient. They have many skills, and they often get a bad reputation as a function of some of the unique challenges that their generation is facing that previous generations did not. And if they're adjusting to those things, they can be stereotyped as not resilient, as opposed to facing new challenges, of which all of us need to adjust and build skills towards.